Marvel has a powerful new cosmic character named Ghostlight. Let's find out who he is. In issue 1 of Marvel's new Silver Surfer Ghostlight series, they introduced a new cosmic character and ally to Silver Surfer named Ghostlight. I have to say up front, the person who is revealed to be Ghostlight is someone from Silver Surfer's past and a solid deep cut into the Silver Surfer lore. The issue starts off with a mysterious shiny man, aka Ghostlight, who's walking in the woods, extending his hand out to someone named Tony. Tony asks, "Who are you?" And on the next page, we see Tony as a girl who's being woken up by her mother. Her mom says, "Girl, get up. Me and your daddy are leaving now. You're supposed to be watching your brother." She replies, "I'm up, I'm up." With the mother saying, "If you weren't up all night online, you'd probably already be awake. You're like a vampire." She replies, "There's no such thing. If you hadn't moved me to this godforsaken forest, maybe I wouldn't need to be up all night talking to my friends." We then find out through their continued conversation that this new house they're living in is the house of their dead Uncle Al. And he left it to them so they're living there with their grandma. The dad then makes his way into the living room saying, "What's the holdup? We have dinner reservations, and I really want to catch the art show opening as well." The mother says, "Yes, just chatting with our firstborn about the family." We are then introduced to Tony's grandmother and her little brother Josh, who is obsessed with jazz music. The parents eventually leave, and on their way, while they're in the car, the mom says, "So did we do the right thing? Have we destroyed our children's lives?" The father replies, "Well, that's dramatic. No, babe. The decision to come to Sweetwater makes sense. We both have portable careers, and Hattie may need support. Also, the kids are amazing. They are brilliant, resilient, stubborn, and well, they're kids. They'll be fine." The wife replies, "I guess, but Tony does have a point. I hate to admit it, but it feels so strange just bumping around in my brother's house, not knowing how he died." The husband says, "Please don't start. I'm sorry, but you and your family have mourned Al for over a decade. He wanted us to have this house." The wife then replies, "I know, Donnie, but being declared dead and actually being dead are two different things. You don't feel like there's something odd, like, in the house?" The husband replies, "I don't. I think we're blessed with this house and fortunate that it has enough space for your mother to heal from the pacemaker surgery. The money we're saving here, plus the kids getting to know their grandmother, it's a gift. Don't you think so?" The wife tells him, "I do, but I just wish I know what happened to Al. Why did he push us away and then up and vanish?" The husband finally tells her, "I don't know, but I'm glad he had the sense to make a will and plan for his family's future. I can never repay him for that." We are then taken back to the house where the grandmother asks Tony if she's okay. She replies, "Yes, no." The grandmother then says, "You're still having the same dream? The Shining Man?" She tells her grandmother, "Yes, ma'am. Same dream since we arrived 2 months ago. They're getting stronger too, and they feel so real." Her grandmother holds her hand saying, "You know, the sight has always been in our family, especially with the women. I even see things that haven't happened myself. Come sit. Tell me about it." So she tells her grandmother about the dream, saying it always starts the same. "I'm in bed and I see a shining light coming from downstairs. Then all of a sudden I'm on the ground and I'm following the Shining Man. He always wants me to follow him into the woods, and we end up at that weird clearing, the one where nothing seems to grow. Then he turns around and calls my name. We never get to the clearing though. I always wake up." Tony's grandmother asks, "What's in the clearing?" She tells her, "Nothing really. It's like almost a perfect circle, and it's like the forest refuses to grow there." Her grandmother just holds her saying, "Spirits will do what they will. It's our job to listen. I guarantee the Shining Man is going to make sure you know what he needs to say really soon." Tony then gets on a video call with her cousin Jaden, who tells her about the phenomenon known as the Sweetwater Gap. Apparently 11 years ago on June 22nd, all the townspeople totally forgot the events of that day. It's a crazy mystery, kind of like the Bermuda Triangle. Her brother Josh then comes in the room saying, "Yeah, I can't believe you never heard of it. I found out about it, Tony, when I went to that party that you didn't want to go to when we first moved here. That was the annual Sweetwater Gap Festival. A whole town had a piece of their history totally erased, and they're making it work somehow by turning it into a celebration." Tony then eventually hangs up the phone with her cousin Jaden. Josh says, "Uncle Al's house? Who was he? What did he do?" Tony replies, "Mom said he was a scientist, had a big professor job, and then lost it and moved out here. Left his whole family behind." Josh says, "Big Mama talks like he walks on water. This is the first time in 2 months we had time without parental units around. I think we should do an investigation." So the two proceed to investigate all around the house to see what they could dig up about their late uncle, before ultimately looking out the window into the backyard at the shed their parents told them not to go into. But of course, that doesn't stop them. Josh eventually cracks the lock on the shed door, and when they go inside, they say, "It's such a letdown. It's just a bunch of junk. Uncle Al is just a kook who left his family to collect a bunch of rocks. I don't understand." After looking around a bit, a secret monitor is revealed behind a jazz poster after Josh starts playing some jazz music on his phone that unlocks it, with him saying, "Yes, the power of jazz." Tony then presses the button on it, which causes a secret staircase to open up beneath the furnace next to the couch. At which point, of course, both of them walk down to investigate to find their uncle's lab, with Tony saying, "Our uncle was a mad scientist." Josh then says, "This is insane. I must investigate further." They then find all sorts sorts of tech, guns, and machinery, and when Josh touches one of the cannons or guns, he's zapped by some electricity. They're both blown back by an explosion that bursts through the ceiling into the sky, causing all sorts of light and energy to go off in the sky. As we see from space, Silver Surfer says, "I know that energy signature anywhere." Then somewhere in Arizona, we see a scientist is alerted that an energy signature she's been obsessed with for years has finally reappeared in Sweetwater, New York. With her saying, "Someone out there loves me, let's mount up." Back in the kid's backyard, the energy signature is just getting stronger, with something crash landing right in front of them. As they hide behind a bush, Josh says, "I think we broke something." Tony says, "Shut up." We then see whatever just crash landed there starts to get up, walking out screaming in pain. As we see, it's the Shining Man. He says, "What? Where? I don't know what's going on. Is this Earth? Where? Where is the lab world? What's happened to me?" Tony then says, "Mister, are you okay?" Josh then says, "What are you doing? Remember, stranger danger. This is a stranger danger with fire." The Shining Man then says, "Tony, you're real? I thought you were just a dream," as he collapses in front of them. Then a bright white light appears with a voice saying, "Who dares?" And right above them we see Silver Surfer come in saying, "Who dares disturb the final resting place of Al Harper, hero and trusted friend of the Silver Surfer?" That's right, the Shining Man and or Ghostlight is none other than Al Harper. For those of you who are unaware, Al Harper is an old friend of Silver Surfer who met Surfer when he fell from the sky many years ago. Harper was kind enough to take him in and let him heal up. Al would eventually die trying to defuse the no-life bomb while helping Silver Surfer. And now somehow he's back with cosmic powers, and Silver Surfer is back on Earth to see what the hell's going on. But just like that, we have the first issue of Silver Surfer Ghostlight. We don't know too much about Ghostlight yet, besides the fact that it's Al freaking Harper, old friend of Silver Surfer. However, if I was a betting man, I'd say it has something to do with his death all those years ago that gave him this newfound cosmic power. Either way, I'll be curious to see where this series takes us. But how about all of you? Are you guys curious as well? And would you like us to keep covering this series? Let us know in the comments. First up for our March 7th buy list, we have The Amazing Spider-Man 21. What happened to Peter and Mary Jane? It's time. This arc will answer your questions, including what did Peter do and who caused all of this. Here we have Spawn 339. A new contender steps forward to claim the throne of Hell. Now Spawn may have to seek help from one of his worst enemies in hopes of stopping this new threat. Now we have Nightcrawler's issue 2. Holy thieves, servants to a cosmic cult, loot the ashes of Asgard, raid the tombs of Otherworld, pick the pockets of the Marvel Universe, and build the sacred weapon. Next we have Batman issue 133. Everyone goes insane eventually, and then they belong to the terrifying Red Mask. But Gotham City has a new savior. He strikes from the shadows, exhumes the dead, and is known only as the Batman. And finally, we have Adventures of Superman John Kent 1. Across the multiverse, Kal-Els are being murdered. Val-Zod, the Superman of Earth 2, believes only one man can help stop the killing, Kal-El's son, John Kent. And this is going to bring today's episode to a close, but if you like this episode, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, like, subscribe, and comment. But other than that, I'll see you next time when I talk about all things comics.